Hello, and welcome back to ByzantineChant.org. I'm again Nicholas Jones, and we'll be going further through a tutorial on Byzantine chant and Byzantine notation, looking further at the symbols and possibly delving into some rhythm. One thing I forgot to mention last time was that these videos are under no circumstance to be the only way to learn Byzantine chant. The most complete way is to find a master chanter and to imitate him and learn from him or her and to follow what he says. As with everything in Orthodoxy, it cannot be learned from a book, or from a video, or even from CDs, but must be experienced in the fullness of the church, and oftentimes through divine services, and by following an experienced teacher who can guide you and teach you what to do. And if you ever see a mistake on this in these tutorials, please feel free to email us at webmaster@byzantinechant.org. So just to recap a few things that we learned last time. We learned the scale. Ni, pa, vu, ga, di, ke, zo, ni. And here's the Greek letters up above. And we'll keep this here most of the time just as a reminder. Now it's essential to memorize these as you go through just to remember what note you're on, and because it's used all the time throughout the different hymns. There's a few symbols that we learned, and I call these symbols most of the time. Some people call them neumes. I prefer symbols because these are not notes. They don't tell you what note you're on, but rather what to do from the previous note or whatever note you're holding. And so this symbol, these three symbols up here, mean go up one in the scale that you're singing. This symbol means stay the same. This symbol means go down one. We happen to have three symbols for up one. One which is just a regular up one. One which is unstressed and normally never starts a new syllable. One which is stressed and normally has an emphasis on the syllables and normally also has a flutter associated with it. Now, because we only have one down one symbol here, we can also add a qualitative symbol to this. So if we have down one and we add the stress symbol, this now just means down one with a flutter, or down one stressed. Similarly, with the ison, we just have one symbol. We can also do something like this and add, again, a flutter to it, some sort of stress to that symbol. For the purpose of orthographic reasons and for writing the music, oftentimes we want to look at music and see more with one glance of the eye than we could normally. So sometimes, if there's just one syllable occupying a note, what we saw before is that we can bar those symbols together. Last time we mentioned that we might bar two things together like this, showing that we have two notes, but that they are held together by this line, and that this would be one syllable. Similarly, we can have a combination of symbols. This one, instead of meaning stay the same and up one, this one meaning down one and up one. Again, on the same syllable. Now, if we start combining up one and up ones, we can also have some sort of symbol, such as this. Now, in Byzantine chant, we've already established that we read from left to right. We also read from bottom up. So in this case, this is one symbol, but since we read it from bottom up, it means the oligon followed by the kentimaton. So this means up one, up one, up one, up one. Similarly, there's another symbol, like that. It's actually the mirror image of this, or we have the kentimaton on the bottom. So this one equals unstressed, followed by an up one. Now, as you notice, this one, we can put a syllable here, because it would sit under this note. This one, we cannot put a syllable here, because it starts with the unstressed kentimaton. But this one, it would be la, and this one, we'd have to put something beforehand, such as an ison. So this would be la, whereas with this one, we could do la la. Since we've already learned how to go up one, stay the same, go down one, and start combining symbols depending upon how the syllables are associated with those notes, we can start doing some jumps. The first jump that we must learn, since we know how to go up one, we can jump up two. Now this is a combination symbol where we take the oligon and we take one of the kentimaton. And so then this means jump up two. So we go from ni to vu, or from pa to ga. Now this symbol can also be written if we bring this guy underneath there. So this would look like that. So this one also means up to. Same exact symbol, except for orthographic reasons. When we're writing music, this symbol will be used when it's followed by stay the same, an isan, or when by some sort of +1 symbol or some other symbol that means go up. This symbol, however, will only be followed by a go down symbol, or if there's enough space or something in the middle between symbols, then you might see a go up symbol, or you might see a go down symbol after this one. So sometimes the rules are broken, but in general, if we're writing in a long string of notes, after this symbol, it will always go down. After this symbol, it will always stay the same or go up. Now, to go down to, we have the elafron. Now this looks very much like this other one, especially when written in real music, but this one means go down to. Now, if we wanted to flutter with this one, what you might see is you might see that symbol, and you might add that one beneath it. So this would be go down to and a flutter. And if we want to flutter while going up to, then what we would end up doing is we would have this symbol. So this means, again, up to, but this is now a stressed syllable and with a flutter. So now we have up to, we have up to with a flutter, and as we saw, we have down to. Now, if we're going down to, there's also a symbol that doesn't mean jump down to, but means go down one, down one. This symbol is called the iperois, and this is what it looks like. Essentially, we have these symbols, but this one is tilted, instead of going down and to the right, it's going up and to the right. And this one is 2 consecutive down notes, down one, down one. So we couldn't start a new syllable on here because it's a question of where that syllable would lie. So if we're executing this symbol, let's say we have an isan followed by our iperois, and we start on vu in our diatonic scale, and then we would end on ni. And so we would sing this vu pa ni. The way that we would actually execute it in music would be la, aligning everything inside of this symbol. Since we've already learned a bunch of symbols for going up one, and going up two, and going down one, and going down two, now we can start to add a little bit of rhythm to make a melody. So the first rhythmic symbol that we'll learn is to add a beat, and it's called klasma, and it looks like a sideways apostrophe. So if I were to draw an isan, then I would draw that. Now this one, instead of being 1 beat, this would be 2 beats. There's a few more symbols that we might see in music. This one we'll see on a lot of different symbols, but you might also see a dot, which is called apli, or 2 dots, dipli, or 3 dots, tripli. These ones, as opposed to saying this one, which says that this symbol equals 2 beats, these mean add however many beats to that symbol. So this 1 dot would add 1 beat, this would add 2 beats, and this would add 3 beats. And so sometimes you'll see this below the apostrophos, then you'll see 1 dot, or you might see 2 dots. You can also see a klasma above it. But then this symbol would now be worth 3 beats. This one is worth 2 beats. And so then if we were to write a little melody, we can now write something that most of you should probably be familiar with. And here's our melody. Now, as I said, many of you will be familiar with this. But first we'll walk you through a few of the steps. So, we start on ni, and we're in the diatonic scale as we've tried to stay in mostly. So we start on ni here, and this is our martyria, our witness, our indicator to the music that tells us where we should be at this point. And we see that we have a jump of up 2, down 1, down 1, up 1, stay the same, and hold it for a second beat. And then we know that we end on vu, or that's where we should be at least. Then we know that we have a next line of music, which is go down one from vu, which would bring us to pa, and we stay the same, and we stay the same, and hold a beat, or hold an extra beat. Then we go up one, and jump up 2 notes, and then we stay the same and hold a beat, and then now we know we should be on the in the diatonic scale. One thing you notice is that this symbol, we're going down one after it, which agrees with the orthographic rules which I mentioned a minute ago. So here, if we start filling in some of the notes, I'll write them in our Latin characters. So we'll say vu, and then pa, mi, pa, vu, 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 pa, 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 vu, vi, vi, vi. So, if we were to sing this is our ni, vu, pa, ni, pa, vu, 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 pa, 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 vu, di, di. It's Mary Had a Little Lamb. I hope it is. So, what we have here is that la 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 la, and we could even write an E-son above it. We can start with a ni E-son, and then on pa we can go down to lo di, the, and then go back up to mi, and then we can have an entire melody based upon a Western nursery rhyme, but written in Byzantine notation. Now that we've begun to introduce a melody, I hope Byzantine chant and Byzantine notation is becoming more within your grasp, and I hope you've learned a few more things today. We went through up one, and stay the same and down one again, introducing up two as a jump, and down two as a jump, and also down one as consecutive symbols, and now we've introduced a melody. So, for ByzantineChant.org, I'm Nicholas Jones. Thanks for joining me.